Hi guys, my name is Adrian White. I'm from Pickering, Ontario, and today we're going to do a slight tutorial video on how to lay out some walls. The plan is we're going to be building a 10 by 10 L-shaped shed slash mini house. So we're going to go through a few tips and tricks how to get from point A to point B. So basically, this material comes from Home Depot. When we pick our lumber ourselves, we take a lot of pride in making sure the lumber that we pick is really straight. We're not sure how straight everything is because this was delivered. So the first process when you get your lumber is to check the product to make sure there's no cupping, waning, bowing, damage. And that's what you're going to use to basically build your frame. So you want everything to be straight. So what I usually go through is we'll check our lumber. So we'll grab a piece like this. And the first thing is you look for any cupping going in this direction. Okay? Cupping or bowing, and then you check in this direction. So I'm looking at this piece here is not the straightest. So I'm going to throw this one to the side. And I'll check a second piece. This one here, not perfect, but more than livable. So we'll use this and we'll check another one. So these two here are good. So we'll use these two pieces to prepare our layout. So now that we've checked our material, everything is pretty straight. So we're gonna move forward with our layout. So in terms of doing layout, the first thing you wanna do is make sure your pouch and everything's in order. So for me, I have basically a hammer here, I have a tape measure, I have a square, and I have a pencil. I always keep my pencil somewhere where we're ready to go. So in terms of pulling layout, I'm left-handed, so I'm gonna be starting on this side. So the first order of business is you wanna make sure the material is nice and flush at the edge. You'll take out your tape measure and you would start from the outside edge here. This material we're laying out on 16-inch centers. So what you wanna make sure is that if you're laying out, you go 16-inch centers, that is representing the center. But you don't wanna have the material laid out on a center. You would like the material laid out on a 16-inch center. So you'd have to step back 3/4 of an inch on every single piece. So as you're looking, this tape measure has increments marked in red at 16 inches. 16 inches. So for every 16 inches, you want to step back 3/4 of an inch. So this is how we would do our layout. We would prepare by laying out 16, we step back, and then we put a hash that our stud is going to be laid out and on 16. So 16, we step back. We step back. And a lot of guys often lay out, and what they do is they'll go ahead and they'll put an X. I like my life, and I don't want to spend my life as a carpenter making X's. So if I just do a hash, it's done. You know, just one less, probably a million less ticks in my life that I have to do. Okay? You see, we'll do an X. So you see the X takes substantially longer than actually doing just a mark. And that's just a little tip in terms of being that much more efficient. Yeah, if it's a second, that's more time saved, and that's kind of how we go about it.